Listen up, H-Town. The news cycle surrounding our Houston Texans is absolutely exploding right now, and you need to pay attention because the implications are massive. We are talking about ghosts from the past resurfacing to haunt the franchise, bitter rivalries igniting with familiar faces, and a narrative surrounding our franchise quarterback that is so ludicrous it demands an immediate reality check. The foundation of this team is being tested by noise from the outside, and we are here to separate the facts from the absolute fiction. Buckle up, because this is going to be a bumpy ride.
Let's get straight to the business at hand, because this first story is the kind of move that keeps general managers awake at night and puts coaching staffs on high alert. Sources have confirmed that a former Houston Texans quarterback, a man who has been inside our locker room, studied our playbook, and knows the cadence of this offense, has officially put pen to paper to sign with a division rival. From an insider perspective, looking at the transaction wire and the contract details, this is a strategic acquisition by the rival organization designed to do one thing: mine for intelligence. When you sign a quarterback who has recently departed a division opponent, you aren't just paying for his arm or his ability to manage the game. You are paying for the intellectual property stored in his mind. He knows the terminology. He knows the checks at the line of scrimmage. He knows what head coach DeMeco Ryans preaches in those closed-door meetings. But let me switch gears and tell you what this really means from a competitive standpoint. This is an absolute declaration of war within the division. You do not go to the enemy unless you are looking to stick it to your former team, plain and simple. It is disrespectful, it is bold, and quite frankly, it adds a level of spice to the AFC South that we haven't seen in years. The audacity to walk across the battle lines and hand over the secrets of the Texans operation to a team we have to see twice a year is something that should light a fire under every single player on this roster. We are talking about a league where the margin for error is razor thin, and now you have a former ally who is likely sitting in a meeting room right now, dissecting our weaknesses and exposing our tendencies to the opposition. I don't care if it's business. In the NFL, business is personal. This changes the complexion of the upcoming matchups entirely. The Texans defense now has to account for the fact that the opposing sideline knows their audible calls. The coaching staff has to tweak their signals. It creates a level of paranoia that can distract a team if they aren't careful. This isn't just a roster move, it is a psychological ploy, and the Texans better be ready to answer the bell. When that former quarterback steps onto the field wearing the colors of the enemy, the crowd in Houston better let him hear it, and the defense better make sure he remembers exactly why he is an ex-Texan. This is the type of storyline that fuels rivalries for a decade, and I am here for every single second of the intensity it brings to the table. But make no mistake, this adds a layer of difficulty to the season that nobody asked for.
If you want to stay ahead of the curve and keep getting these exclusive, unfiltered insights on the Texans that the mainstream media is afraid to touch, you need to subscribe right now. Don't miss a single update.
Now, we have to turn our attention to a report that is surfacing from the shadows of the past, and it involves a name that still evokes a visceral reaction in Houston: Deshaun Watson. An erstwhile sports agent, someone with deep ties to the inner workings of the league and intimate knowledge of the situation, has come forward to reveal controversial, behind-the-scenes details regarding Watson's tenure and his eventual exit from the Texans. According to the information we are receiving, this agent is peeling back the curtain on the negotiation tactics and the behavioral patterns that held this franchise hostage for nearly 2 years. The report alleges specific instances of entitlement and a complete disconnect between the players' camp and the reality of the organization's needs, shedding new light on just how toxic the environment had become before the trade was finally executed. Let me be crystal clear about this. This is an absolute bombshell of validation for every Texans fan who felt betrayed. For years, the narrative was spun in a way that tried to make the organization look like the villain, but these new revelations confirm that the rot was coming from the inside out. The audacity to behave in such a manner, to demand the world while dragging the reputation of the city through the mud, is simply unforgivable. This ex-agent is essentially confirming that the Texans didn't just trade a player, they excised a tumor that was threatening the very life of the franchise. When you hear about the demands, the attitude, and the way business was conducted, you have to get down on your knees and thank the football gods that this chapter is closed. We are talking about a situation that paralyzed the front office. They couldn't build, they couldn't plan, and they couldn't move forward because of the cloud hanging over the quarterback position. This report is a stark reminder of the bullet that Houston dodged in the long run. While Watson is struggling to find his footing elsewhere, the Texans have cleansed the building of that negative energy. But hearing these details now, it just makes the blood boil all over again. It shows a lack of professional respect and a level of narcissism that has no place in a locker room trying to build a championship culture. This agent coming forward is the final nail in the coffin of that era. It vindicates the decision to move on, and it highlights just how miraculous the turnaround under D'Amico Ryans and Nick Caserio has truly been. They took a broken, toxic situation and turned it into gold, and these new details only serve to amplify how impressive that feat really is. The past is the past, but when the truth comes out like this, it is impossible to ignore the damage that was done and the resilience it took to overcome it.
If you thought the first two stories were intense, this next one is going to make you want to throw your remote through the television screen. And what can only be described as one of the most baffling, nonsensical, and frankly disrespectful takes I have heard in my entire career covering the National Football League, a former NFL quarterback has gone on record suggesting the possibility, hypothetically of course, of the Houston Texans trading C.J. Stroud. You heard me correctly. The suggestion was made that given his sky-high market value right now, the Texans could potentially flip him for a historic haul of draft picks to build a super team, under the guise that his value will never be higher. From a transactional standpoint, sure, the return would be unprecedented, likely eclipsing the Herschel Walker trade. But from a football reality standpoint, it is absolute insanity. Are you kidding me? Are you out of your mind? We are talking about C.J. Stroud, the offensive rookie of the year, the man who walked into a burning building, put out the fire, and turned it into a penthouse suite in one season. To even utter the words trade and C.J. Stroud in the same sentence is blasphemy of the highest order. This young man is not just a quarterback, he is the savior of the franchise. He is the face of the city. He is the reason why people in Houston have hope again on Sundays. You do not trade a franchise quarterback. You spend your entire existence as an organization searching for one, praying for one, losing for one. And when you finally find him, you hold on to him with everything you have. This former quarterback who suggested this needs to be drug tested immediately because he is clearly hallucinating. The idea that you would trade a proven commodity, a leader of men, a guy who throws with the precision of a surgeon and leads with the heart of a lion for draft picks, which are nothing but lottery tickets, is the kind of thinking that gets general managers fired and franchises relocated. C.J. Stroud is untouchable. He is the system. He is the culture. The mere suggestion is an insult to everything the Texans are building. It shows a complete lack of understanding of what Stroud means to this team emotionally and spiritually. We are witnessing the birth of a legend in H-Town, and you want to trade him? Stop it. Just stop it right now. The Texans are building a dynasty around this young man, not looking to ship him out for parts. This is a non-starter, and frankly, I am offended that we even have to entertain such garbage. C.J. Stroud is a Texan, and he is going to be a Texan for a very, very long time. End of discussion.
This is a decisive moment for the franchise. We have rivals trying to steal our playbook, ghosts of the past trying to rewrite history, and pundits trying to destabilize our future with ridiculous trade rumors. But this is where we stand tall. The noise is loud, but our resolve is stronger. I want to hear from you right now. Does the idea of trading Stroud make you as angry as it makes me? Drop your thoughts in the comments immediately. We are in this together, defending the wall for H-Town. Stay sharp, stay passionate, and as always, keep it locked right here.